Hello everyone! So today we're going to do the sick book tag with Natalie!
This is the girl I was talking to you guys about the last video, because she's very passionate about books.
You talked about me in your video?
Yeah, because you recommended me that Monster Calls book.
Well, you don't watch our channel, so...
Shame!
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna do a book tag today. What is the book tag?
it's called the sick book tag. So it's all like diseases and stuff that remind you of books.
Okay. Very optimistic.
Diabetes. A book too sweet. Like really sweet.
I have to go with Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins because that book is just cheese.
This book equals cheese.
It's like gooey mozzarella. It's really good.
Well, I haven't actually read a lot of like love, sweet, cheesy books recently or like ever in my lifetime. But I read Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle recently, and I really, really loved that book. And it was just really sweet and Christmassy and lovey-dovey and cute.
You took mine. I just thought that Let It Snow was like beautifully crafted and it was adorable and all the characters were adorable and
So good.
it was a really nice winter romance to start the holidays.
Also John Green. So
And also John Green. And Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle.
Yeah, but John Green.
I read Lauren Miracle's the 13, 14, 15, like
I
that
did
whole
too.
series.
I remember 11 and 12 and 13.
I know there's a 14 and a 15 at
Wait,
least.
what is this series?
Is Lauren...
I'm so confused. You're blowing down numbers and I'm just like, what?
She writes a book for every year in this
Yeah.
girl's life, and it's all of the like struggles of being that age. Chickenpox, a book you've read once and will never pick up again.
Definitely The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I hate that book. I hate it so much. I hate it with a burning passion. It is so bad. It's so stereotypical. Like everything about it was just like completely unoriginal. And like I got nothing from that story.
Well, I technically read this book twice, but it was because I had to read it twice for school. And for some reason, my mind is blank right now, and I can't remember what it's called.
Is it Things Fall Apart?
Yes, it's Things Fall Apart. That's what it is. I was thinking the upside down head on the cover. I did not like that book.
That book.
I think I just
Yams.
That's basically
So
all it was
many
about.
yams.
Yams, and then I'm not gonna spoil it because I don't know if some people actually enjoy it. But if you do enjoy it, leave a comment and tell me why you enjoy it because I don't see any appeal in it.
My friend Adam from my school loves Things Fall Apart.
Why?
And I just don't understand.
Okay.
I don't understand.
It makes important social commentaries about like how those people were thinking and about like their culture and
Yeah, it was a good
it was
educational book.
yeah. It was
It's
a
just-
nice insight into understanding kind of like their thought process and like but it was just so bad.
It was by Chinua.
I'm not even gonna
Achebe.
try and say his name.
I always try to say people's names. Sometimes I don't say them right at all, but I don't think I said this. Sayo Ben Dowd?
Chabot.
Yeah, that one. I didn't say that one right at all.
I'm gonna have to go with a Phantom Toll Booth.
I've never heard of that one.
It's really clever. It's like a exploration into language. It's really cute. It's just it drags on and on, and I could never read it again.
Okay.
Influenza, a contagious book that spreads like a virus.
Well, mine is definitely The Fault in Our Stars by John Green because John Green, any of his books, really. I mean, after The Fault in Our Stars, like, kind of boomed, people started paying more attention to him.
John Green, and then, like, really every book. Hunger Games, Divergent.
Every book in the entire world.
One that I don't think should be spreading like a virus for a good reason is 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my goodness.
I've actually never read the book and I never will.
I wanted to know what all the hype was about. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna read like the first chapter or something. I couldn't get through the first page. Me personally, the reason why I couldn't move on with the story is because she's just an awful writer. Like, the story began with like this weird scene where she's like brushing her hair. I can't do this anymore.
Oh, it didn't really like say to pick. It just said a book that spread like a virus.
Yeah, pick a book.
Hunger Games.
I'm gonna go with Divergent and pick off of your list, but I loved Divergent. Honestly, Divergent changed my life. Like, latched on to the whole like dauntless kind of thing. Like, don't be afraid. The cycle, your monthly cycle. Book you read every month, year, or often.
I don't think I've ever read a book. Well, I have read a book more than once, but like I don't have time. That was a dark time in my life. I read Twilight 6 times. That wasn't.
What?
Yes.
Don't.
No.
Memorize the prologue and the first
You
paragraph
memorized
of the first
prologue?
chapter.
I almost said program prologue.
I memorized the prologue in the first chapter, or not the first chapter, the first paragraph of the first chapter.
Anyway, I reread a lot of books.
That you read.
I just reread Looking for Alaska by John Green.
And she got the 10th anniversary copy, which
Oh
is
my
really,
god,
really
it's
pretty.
so pretty. It's so pretty. Just look at how beautiful it is. Just look at it. Look at, oh, it's so beautiful.
Natalie has fainted and will be back
Momentarily.
And I've reread the Lightning Thief a lot. I'll look for the parts that like I want to read. Or a book that I need to reread again. Because like I know that like I'm going through something, or like I just miss a character.
I finished rereading the whole Harry Potter series, so that was fun. And then I sometimes reread Book Thief, which is my favorite book ever.
I'm gonna have to go with A Wrinkle in Time, and I've talked about A Wrinkle in Time before a lot. I just find that I get something different out of it every time. Insomnia, a book that kept you up all night. Although I'm sure this happens to you frequently, Natalie.
It does happen to be frequently. A very specific book that kept me up all night, and that is Tell the Wolves I'm Home by Carol Rifka Brunt. Then, like, as I kept reading more and more of it, I don't know, just... I finished the book and I looked up and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, whoops.
So my book is Allegiant, which is the 3rd book in the Divergent series.
God.
I had like 100 or 200 pages left at around like 11 p.m. one night, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna read the rest of it. And I read it, and when I finished it, it was like 3 in the morning or something, and I was just sobbing my eyes out. I couldn't see anything anymore. I was just, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I was just, I died, basically.
I'm gonna go with Looking for Alaska by John Green. So, like, I read, like, half of the beginning, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I like it, you know, typical John Green-esque book. 11 o'clock at night, when I picked it back up, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna read for an hour until I go to bed. I ended up finishing the beginning and finishing the end, and I was like, by the end, just like, what? Amnesia, a book that's forgotten and failed to leave a powerful impression in your memory.
How are we supposed to remember?
We have amnesia.
You don't have amnesia because of this book. This book reminds you of amnesia.
Every single book after the 3rd Maximum Ryan book.
Well, my book would be Wicked. I forget who it's by, but it's not the Gregory Maguire one. It's about like
Were
witches.
we talking about this?
Holly Black?
Yeah, but it's by 2 authors. It's Holly Black and someone else. I don't remember. Okay, Deanna's gonna look it up. It was a series of books. I loved those series of books, but I do not remember anything that happened in it or anything at all.
This?
Yes.
Nancy Holder and Debbie...
No, apparently it's not by Holly Black.
Oh, never mind.
And Debbie Viculi.
The Wicked series. Witch and Curse, They're like,
Legacy and Spellbound and Resurrection.
yeah, there's like 5 books, but the first 4 are packaged into 2. But
remember the Fairy Realm books that we read a long time
Yeah.
ago?
there were like 10 of them.
I read all of them like religiously as they came out. Bought them in hardcover.
Fairy
Well, they only
Realm.
came in hardcover. She goes to her grandpa's house, and at her grandpa's house in the backyard, there's a garden. There's this secret door that leads into the fairy realm. Asthma, a book that took your breath away.
A Monster Calls, the book that I was telling you about. I read the whole book in a day, and by the end of it, I was crying so hard that, like, I was literally, like, my body was shaking from how hard I was crying. Like, how just it touched me. Like,
It was one of the books of the Gallagher Girls series.
which one?
It was like one of the last ones, like the 4th or wait, isn't there 6?
There's 6.
Okay, it was one of the. It was either the 5th or the 6th one. She doesn't remember what stuff,
the
yeah.
and then she remembers,
Yeah.
and then the guy's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and she like runs, and yeah, that part, and like it's like a betrayal, and I was just like, "What?"
I was really confused. King Dork by Frank Portman. It was really witty. It was well thought out. Malnutrition, a book that lacked food for thought.
Oh, well, one book for me is I recently kind of skimmed through these books because I read them in middle school and I thought they were the best things ever. They were the Emily Winsnap series
Oh my goodness.
by Liz Kessler, and I love those books. But when I recently just went back and just like skimmed through it and like read some of my favorite parts, I was just like, this is not very good like writing or like made me think anything at all.
Well, it's also like for like
Yeah, it was for middle
school
schoolers.
girls.
Which it makes sense. It was a good book. It was a good book. Made
One
my
of the
brain
books
cells
that
working.
didn't make me think was Need by Carrie Jones.
Oh, I loved that one.
I hate that
I read the
book.
whole series.
I got nothing from that book.
My book, Witch and Wizard by James Patterson.
Oh.
I like the plot of the book. I don't get anything, like, I feel like I should keep reading them, but I'm just not getting anything out of them. Last one. Travel Sickness, the book that you took on a journey through time and space.
The Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus series combined. That was the first book that like completely sucked me into another world.
I think mine would be a series of unfortunate events. That series. I actually
It's a nice
didn't.
choice.
I actually didn't really read all of them, but I've always been meaning to, but I don't know why I just haven't. Because I remember like going to a book fair and seeing the last book, and I'm just like, I'm gonna read all of these and get up to that one, but like I never did. But that was like a book that like totally like sucked me in, and watching the movie helped as well, which again I really liked the movie, but I also really like the books.
I'm going to have to go with, and you're going to probably kick yourself for not thinking of this, but the Magic Tree House. Mystery.
Oh.
They totally, and they were so skinny that I could like finish one a day if I wanted to,
Mhm.
and I was just totally like invested in like Jack and Annie, and yeah,
Okay.
so that's the sick book tag.
This has actually been a 52, almost an hour video, but I'm gonna cut a bunch of stuff out, so when you see this, it'll probably be like 8 minutes later or something like that, hopefully.
If you have comments, questions, want to talk about the books that we talked about,
or answer your own book tag, you can tag other people. I'm just tagging everyone, because
tag everyone, tag yourself. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
this is
Have
Natalie
fun with it. This has been Natalie Kavanaugh
and Erin,
and Deanna.
and bye!